I want to talk about probably one of the best games VR has to offer at the moment, Into the Radius. Now, for those who don't know what Into the Radius is, it's a VR survival horror game where you're trapped in a monster infested Russia, filled with anomalies that the human mind cannot understand. Wait a second, this is just Stalker, but VR. I say that a lot. Whenever someone asks me what is Into the Radius, I can't help but say it's Stalker but VR. And every time I say that, I feel like I'm giving it a backhanded compliment, when I know it's so much more than that. So in this video, I kind of want to talk about my favorite things about this game, and some things that I think can be improved. The way the game feels and plays, it almost seems natural. I find myself planning on what to bring with me on an expedition, and planning where I'm going to rest. It really makes you feel like you're alone in a devastated world doing all you can just to survive. The guns feel amazing for the most part. The way they handle feels good, and the attention to detail is next to perfect. The majority of the guns you have sound amazing. However, there are some questionable ones, and I'll talk about that in a bit. With how the game feels and plays, there's been genuine moments where I've forgotten I'm playing a VR game. I'm a bit embarrassed by how many times I've almost fallen over just because I tried to lean on something. I think it's safe to say this is probably one of the most immersive VR games I've ever experienced. The game has an impressive 31 different guns, range from snipers, assault rifles to submachine guns, shotguns and pistols, where the majority of them have access to attachments like laser sights and suppressors. However, my biggest issue with the game at the moment is that a lot of the guns sound the same, and some guns just don't sound right at all. Here's a clip of me using the shotguns, and you'll see what I mean. The two shotguns that sounded good was the double barrel shotgun and the Saiga, and they both share the same sound. The Spaz 12 and the pump action shotgun also share the same sound, however they don't sound like the guns they are. The majority of the assault rifles also suffer from the same thing. All the ARs practically sound the same with some exception of the AKs, and some guns sound completely different when you change the firing mode. Despite the sound design, the attention to detail is amazing, and I look forward to see what else they bring in future updates. In terms of enemies, there's quite a few of them, however they all kind of lack distinction. This is all done intentionally to somewhat confuse the player on what they're looking at. You can't really tell what it is until you're really close, or unless it shoots at you. The main enemy you'll be facing with a lot of the time are fragments and spawns, or spiders. Spawns, sometimes referred to as spiders, are easily the most terrifying creature in the game, second to the slider. That's my bad. Yeah, I also played 1.0 and I love the game. Ah! You also face against monsters called mimics. Mimics are mimics. God damn it. Mimics will mimic. God damn it, I can't. Mimics are without a doubt the most dangerous enemies in the game, for they can actually shoot at you. And a lot of the time they'll see you before you see them. Towards the late game, mimics will be armored, meaning you have to shoot them a lot more just in order to kill one of them. And they're almost never by themselves. They always seem to find a way to keep you on your toes, no matter what the situation is, considering they're the only enemies that can drop you from full health. This changes the game's pacing dramatically, for you're not fighting these shambling silhouettes, making you take cover as they shoot a barrage of bullets at you, slowly making their way towards you. And in some cases, mimics will try to flank you, forcing you out of cover. Mimics have many variants, ranging from soldiers, police officers, snipers, hunters, special forces. And in case you're wondering, you don't get anything from killing them, just breathing room. The guns they had just seem to disappear, they don't drop anything. As much as I want to show you what's like fighting these monsters, I really feel like you should experience it for yourself. Of course, that's not all the enemies in the game, however, I kinda want to save that for another video. If that's something you're interested in, let me know. In this part of the video, I am going to talk a little bit about the story, so if you don't want to hear anything about it, just skip to the next section of the video. The game has a great way on telling you its story. You'll find notes from other survivors and cassette tapes left by other explorers. You won't find these things unless you explore. And they really make it worth exploring the map, because some notes have secret stashes and sometimes those secret stashes have a gun in them. Some of the statues, when they're broken, you get a wee text box and you see what they last said before they supposedly died. In an ironic way, it brings life to this dead world because people actually used to live here. In case you're wondering, there's no other NPCs in this game. Only thing that comes close to that is Katya. They made Katya very noticeable, so you're able to find her and get a better grasp of the story. She's like all the other statues, however, she's glowing white. It makes it almost impossible to miss her. The game tries really hard to give you this like non-existent connection with Katya. It made it really difficult for me to enjoy the main story. I actually enjoyed finding these notes and cassette tapes left around the map more than I did with the main quest. The main story I'm really just not fond with at all, and it's a shame because you can tell that a lot of work went into it. I was invested in the story at the start of the game, however, somewhere around the mid to end game really just disappointed me, especially the end game. I think they should add two different modes, one that has a story and one without, because you can't get access to a lot of the weapons unless you do the main story. And me personally, I think it'd be a great idea to add a survival mode where everything's unlocked. Despite the game's flaws, there's great things about this game, and there's more to come. They're still updating it to this day, and the developers have always listened to their community, and they've worked with the community to try to make this game a lot better. Despite some of the negative things I've said about this game, I absolutely love it. It's by far one of my favourite games to play, and I can't wait to see the full finished product of this game. Sorry to pop in like this, but they just released a new video, and I think it addresses the weapon sounds that I mentioned in this video. I'll leave that in the description. This was a different video for me. It's not what I normally do, and I'm not used to writing scripts. So this video might be a bit weird at some points, and I hope you forgive me for that. However, I would love to do more stuff like this, especially about this game. If there's anything you want to see, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed making this video. And if you want to see more videos just like this, let me know down in the comment section. If you want to see me play this live, head over to twitch.com/vrstuds. I'll leave a link down in the description where you can watch me play. And if you have any questions about the game, feel free to ask. If it's not too much to ask, it would mean a lot if you liked the video and consider subscribing.